Hi Ben, how's it going, mate?
What? No, I can't have you getting in my room without me. Come on, bro.
Guys, we've begun. Guys, we've begun.
All right, we're starting virtual media. Hey, I showered for you guys today. I hope you guys appreciate that. I don't shower very often for people for Media Day, but I did for you people today, all over the world.
How are you, Ben?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Good, thank you. So the first question I want to ask you is about the event as a whole. Obviously, coming from the background you have in MMA and the UFC, they do things a lot differently here in Triller. They've obviously got live guests, there's performances around. What do you make of the whole fight week so far? And are you excited for the event as a whole rather than just the fight at hand?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a fight, right? It's not an event for me. If I was a fan or something, I might feel differently. But listen, I'm getting into a boxing ring, as funny as that sounds, and fighting on Saturday night. So I'm not kind of getting into all the hoopla and stuff. But I know the people who are. I have 10 guest passes, and they are all very excited for Justin Bieber and some of the other people.
And seeing the background you've come from in mixed martial arts, it's very different to the boxing fight. And I know that you're a very chilled out person. Do you actually dislike Jake Paul?
I would say I'm more indifferent to Jake. I think there's a part of me that still thinks what he's doing is kind of an act or, a show he puts on. I'd say if who he acts like is his real person, then yeah, he's probably kind of a shit person. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just an act.
And if you were to
but
win...
even hold on, even if he was a shit person, I guess I would still be pretty indifferent to that. I mean, there's a lot of shit people in the world.
And if you were to win on Saturday, a lot of people would thank you because there's a lot of hatred towards Jake Paul. Would you prefer, although it does sound very strange, would you prefer to win on Saturday than lose to Jorge Masvidal in the manner you did?
Wait, well, sorry. That was kind of a confusing question. Can you say it one more time?
Would you prefer to win on Saturday night and have a lot of praise from people who dislike Jake Paul, or would you prefer that win over Jorge Masvidal?
That's good. Well, I would pick, obviously, if I could rewind history, to beat Masvidal, because if I beat Masvidal, I was fighting for the UFC title, and that was pretty much the only belt in mixed martial arts that I didn't win. So I would obviously reverse that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks very much. Next, I have Theo Saloon. Theo.
Hey, how's it going? First things first. Appreciate you for showering. I know we can't smell you, but you look clean, and that's nice.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't wear deodorant, and I don't have body odor. So, even though my hair might be messy, you will never ever smell me because body odor doesn't exist on me.
All right, that's good to know.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. That's the truth. You can ask my wife.
I'll have to. All right, maybe if we get her up next.
Okay.
But so my question kind of just, you mentioned the hoopla and not thinking of it as an event.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're very experienced, with, pre-match trash talk and stuff. But I'm wondering, have you noticed another level to kind of like this, I guess you could call it, with social media and going up against an influencer who's so present on social media?
No, I haven't. I actually think, we should probably have our contracts reversed. I'm sure Jake's getting some kind of pay-per-view bonus, and I'm carrying the fucking promotion of this fight. Jake ain't promoting shit. You go look at the Fight Hub TV. Jake's got 50,000 views, and I got 1.2 million. Triller, maybe they can send me a $2 million bonus afterwards. Because the promotion of this fight is squarely on my shoulders. Jake's not doing his job.
So you'd say he's not talking enough trash in advance?
Yeah, not talking enough trash, and the trash he does talk, it's very poor.
All right, got you. Appreciate you.
All right, next we have Boxing Social.
Ames here for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. How you doing, Ben? You all right?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good to hear. You fought in your recent fights. Well, it will be Jake Paul coming at the weekend, and you've had Jorge Masvidal in the past. Two big personalities. Out of the two, who would you say has been harder to deal with?
Deal with in what way?
Mentally, in terms of approaching the fight, everything encompassing like dealing with the fight in general.
Yeah, I kind of deal with I kind of deal with everyone the same way. I try to make it as similar as possible every single fight, and that's same with this week.
You said as well, leading up to this fight, this is essentially for you a one and done, but there's a small chance that you could continue fighting on. Can you give me an example of what that small chance means in fight terms? Like who would have to be in the picture for you to fight on?
Yeah, I don't really intend to box after Saturday night, but no, it's not a who question. It's a how much question. Is Trill going to recognize that I'm going to sell them 1 million pay-per-views and cut me, a Conor McGregor type check for the next one? Because if they do, then I would consider doing it again. And if they don't, I love coaching wrestling and podcasting. That's kind of my passion in life. I'll probably just go and do that.
Well, a Conor McGregor like check would include Conor McGregor, right?
Oh, I can't imagine the UFC. Well, Conor's a significantly better boxer than myself, and obviously Jake Paul as well. I would love to fight Conor McGregor in mixed martial arts, but again, I'm going to be retired, and yeah, I just don't really see all that happening. I'm just saying, you asked me how I would how I would do this again, and how I would do this again is if they give me a very large amount of money.
You have a weight on your shoulders from the people.
Really? I don't feel it.
Well, from the people who really dislike Jake Paul, they count on you to count him out of the boxing game. Do you realize that feeling from some of the fans?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think most fans are more invested in the result of this bout than I am. I mean, for me, I think actually the biggest negative comes from winning, because if I beat Jake Paul's ass, I'm going to be like world famous, and I ain't really trying to be world famous. Like I said, I'm trying to coach wrestling and podcast, and that's really it. So the result of the bout on Saturday night, obviously I'd like to win, but I don't really think it changes my life a whole lot either way.
You mentioned investments there. Someone who's invested heavily in this, kind of interestingly, is Dana White is putting down $1 million on you.
Yes.
What's your reaction to that $1 million? And do you appreciate that support from Dana?
Yeah, it's good to have that support. And, Jake Paul is tremendous in the fact that he even made Dana White like me, which, man, that's years. That took years to make it happen. He made it happen. So good job, Jake Paul.
And finally, look, you've had, your injuries in the past, the hip most notoriously. Are you as injury-free as you can be coming into this fight? Can we see the best Ben Askren we expect to see coming into this fight?
I'm as healthy as I have been for a while, yes. But obviously, I'm not. I can't stand it when so I'm 36. Say athletes in their late 30s say this is the best I've ever been. I'm like, bullshit. Like, give me 24-year-old myself back again. I'd love to have that. But I am injury free and I feel great. So I'm ready to fight on Saturday night.
All the best, Ben. Pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.
Great. Next we have Shaquille Majori. Go ahead, Shaquille.
Do it.
Shaquille, you might be on mute.
He doesn't want to answer the question.
Hey, Ben, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up?
Sorry, a little delay on my end here. Perfect. All right, first of all, when you look at the metrics for any videos that you've been in between food truck...
Oh, Shaquille's going out again.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, first, Ben, when you look at the metrics for this fight, whether it's you on Food Truck Diaries or you on Logan Paul's podcast, it's amazing. The traffic has been terrific. I know you got into this fight mostly just to beat someone up for an easy payday, but are you starting to see the long-term benefits of this in terms of growing your audience for things like your podcast?
Well, yeah, yes, my audience is growing, and I've already commented that I'm carrying the promotion of this fight, and Jake Paul's not doing his job. But I don't want to be famous. Yeah, my audience is growing like crazy, and the numbers are, like you said, Food Truck Diaries. I think someone showed me it's the second most watched Food Truck Diaries ever. I'm already really high up on the Logan Paul podcast for being, one of the most watched ever, and it's been 1 week. You know what I think it all points to, and I don't want to be famous, but it points to the fact that there's so many not authentic people in the world. And when someone's just real with them, when someone just really says how he feels from the bottom of his heart, people appreciate that. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing that's coming through is, people thought maybe it was bravado or something. No, I'm just being me. And I've been me for the last 20 years. And we don't see a lot of real people in the world, and the authenticity people appreciate.